Hello, information architecture students. Here we are at week 5, and as you can see here, this is the second studio session. This means that this time is essentially dedicated for the students in each of the groups to work on the material relating to the other half of the material that relates to the first full project. And that, by the way, is in fact due the following Tuesday. So not June 2nd, but in fact June 9th. So again, this is time for you to work specifically on the material for the remainder of the material relating to the first project, which is due on the 9th, June 9th. In terms of the things to focus on, and again, this material dovetails nicely with the remainder of the information that was done from the first studio session. So, as I say here, here's what you should do, here's what to focus on. Essentially, answer the following questions in paragraph form. I'm not looking for this to be done in bullet point. I want you to formulate your thoughts over the studio session, and then have it all finished by the time and encapsulated within the first full project, as I say, by the following Tuesday, by June 9th. So the first one is, as I say, based on your current knowledge, I want you to define the audience/audience says, and is really, let's face it, is probably almost certainly going to be multiple audiences for your target website. There's rarely just a single audience, even if there is, for example, if you're trying to sell things online via a website, chances are there's different types of customers that may come to the site. So again, try to define the audiences along with the mission and vision of the website as you're able to determine it. You might want to see if there is something like an about page that explicitly says, here is why we have put this website together, and or what the mission of this particular website is for. And also, and if that's not not stated up front, what are the goals of your project website? Why has the organization that you're studying in this particular case have this website up, and what is its purpose? So now, I also want you to take a look at number 2, which is explore and comment on the information architecture anatomy of your project website, looking at, in this case, the 4 main elements such as organization systems, labeling systems, which we talked about in the last class, navigation systems, and search systems. What I want you to do is provide annotated screen captures when appropriate to illustrate the current information architecture anatomy. So all of this material, that much of what we talked about last week, essentially tell me about how this site is constructed. Take screenshots and annotate those screenshots. Here is some example of the navigation elements. Here is the talk to me about the labeling system. Again, does it make sense? Are there issues? Is it perfectly clear? Usually there's going to be some sort of issue. So again, this is something I want to hear about. So as I say, go in and describe what you're finding on the target website. And also provide examples of top-down or bottom-up information architecture that you see on the project website. Again, provide annotated screen captures when appropriate to illustrate your examples. And again, when you're going through this exercise, you may find that that perhaps there's a preponderance of more top-down as opposed to bottom-up, or perhaps vice versa. This will give you some insight as to the process by which the website was perhaps originally put together, and some thoughts as to how essentially the developmental evolution of this website. And again, speaking of that, again, things like, say, the Wayback Machine that I've shown earlier in the course is definitely something to have a look at. Again, that can certainly be useful. And again, if you do find that your website has been around for a while, and you can note a distinct evolution in terms of style and of, say, the labels that are used on the site. But hopefully, if it's over a long period of time, things have been simplified, and perhaps, hopefully, it's better than what came before. It can't hurt to show me some examples of that from the Wayback Machine. That's not a requirement, but you may find, and in some cases, websites may be simply too new for that to be applicable. But if that information is available, hey, it's something to think about. And then last but not least, based on your current knowledge and experience using your project website, what do you believe are the main aspects your team will likely want to redesign? In other words, again, going in, what you've learned so far about information architecture and putting everything else together, what you know about the audiences coming to the website, what you have learned about information architecture anatomy. Think about ways that you think you could optimize the material that is currently there and how you could make things better. And again, here you can provide annotated screen captures to illustrate the areas that you think can be improved. So that is the essence of what we're going to be doing on Tuesday for the studio session. That's pretty much it. And having said all that, this again all dovetails neatly into the requirements for the very first project. Again, if you take a look at that from the if you take able look at that on the Quercus website, you can essentially all of these fill in the remaining gaps that were not covered by the initial studio session. That's pretty much it for me. So nice to have a short video for once. And I will talk to everybody Tuesday evening at the usual time. See you then. Bye.